Welcome to the Zacks Roundtable Review, a discussion of current events affecting investors as well as other topics of financial interest, featuring the analysts and editors of Zacks.com. Greek lawmakers have approved the financial reforms needed to secure a debt now from the IMF and the European Union. And does this remove one more item from the market's table, or is that Greek issue still dicey? We're going to get the lowdown on that issue from our panelists today, Brian Boland, Tracy Reinick, both stock strategists here at Zacks.com, and market technician Kevin Matris. So I'm going to start with you, Brian. Along those lines, you really feel that it's the info stream of this Greek deal that's more the story. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think the idea here is that the information stream, or what we're getting from the governments as a slow and consistent trend, has been what has helped keep the market stable. So the volatility of late of last year, when there was all this worry of what's going to happen, Euro's going to implode, every bit bad news just came flowing out in a tidal wave, and it sent the markets down significantly. Now I think that they've kind of understood what the market needs, and it needs slow and steady information. And that slow and steady information stream has allowed us not to really lose our shirts on this whole idea, right, or really increase the volatility.
But Kevin, you say unequivocally, yes, it removes one more issue that the market has to worry about.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it takes this issue off the table. The agreement that they just made, it doesn't really permanently solve anything. This is going to take years for them to be able to come to some kind of true solution. But I think the market has already kind of looked past it anyways. I mean, we're up 7% for the year. We pulled back like 0.5% on Friday, big deal. But I think the market does believe that a deal is, going to happen. It did happen over the weekend. The finance ministers still have to approve it. But I believe this kind of takes the Greek thing off the table, at least for a couple of months, so the market can focus on other things.
So, but I just want to get back to Brian. Are you agreeing with Kevin on that?
No, I agree with that, but I think it's just going to be a slow trickle of information, bit by bit, in a consistent manner, as opposed to just, okay, we've got a deal, and now we're going to do something else. And here it is. There's going to be, we've got this deal made, now it's going to be a couple more days till we look at it again, but it's kind of off the table, back on the table, off the table, on the table, but that consistent flow of information.
But wait a minute now, how long do we have to keep talking about this, Tracy? I mean, you're still saying that the Eurozone is still a mess out there.
It is, and how many times have we had this conversation about Greece over the last, I don't know, year maybe?
2.5 years.
We keep saying it's solved, right, and now they've passed this next plan, and yeah, they have this deadline, they need to get the loans in, but, they don't have the money yet. Who knows what's going to happen? And then we're just going to move on to the next one. Portugal's already having issues. Maybe we're going to amount to the same thing again. So I don't see how it's clearing up anything.
It's not. But it's buying.
But then it doesn't take the issue off the table if it's not.
It's buying the market enough time. It's buying Europe enough time. Last year they had virtually no money to be able to build a moat around this European crisis. Now they've got like 1.6 trillion euros that have magically somehow appeared at all of the central banks. Now they're saying they want to double and triple that number. So slowly but surely they are building a bigger moat to be able to make sure they can handle all of these problems. And so far, it's working.
So let me ask this question then. Does the market, all of this being said, does the market have more to go on the upside, or is the market just taking it one day at a time?
Well, here, let me jump in first. I think the market has a tremendous amount of upside potential. I'm guessing Tracy doesn't believe that. My belief is this. The market is a price discovery mechanism. The market has already rejected lower prices. So now the market is going to continue to trek higher to see what investors are willing to accept. Right now, there isn't really much of a reason to go down. You have the Europe situation contained enough for a couple of months. Valuations are still extremely attractive. China, the situation over there is way overblown. And you've got fantastic things coming out of the U.S. I say we go to 1375 to 1400 before you see any kind of real correction.
Right, not much of a reason to go down, but
right,
is there much of a reason to go up?
Well, I disagreed about China, but that's a whole nother discussion. But, you know, I'm not as bearish as what you think. Like, sometimes I am really the bear, but this time I agree to some extent the markets are discounting everything that's going on in Greece, and it does seemingly want to push higher here for whatever reason, even though we've come really far really fast. So unless there's some other bigger event, I do see us maybe trickling up here as well, strangely.
Brian is staying way too quiet.
Well, when two people are disagreeing with you on the one side, you got to kind of shut up and take it. But you know,
not really.
I think that there is, you know, real reason here that we need to have a pullback. We've seen large moves in the S&P, the small caps especially. I think that the market has got to give some of that back, and that would be a healthy retracement if they do. You know, I'm listening to these conference calls, and everyone's saying there is lots of concern of Europe. You know, so what's going to happen down the road is that these concerns are going to turn into real problems. And these real problems are going to turn back into lower stock prices. So it's got to happen.
Let me just say that the market keeps on going up. We're not at an extreme because investors keep on willing to pay up. And until they say no, we're going to keep on going higher.
All right, we still have top stock picks from these folks. Don't go away.